Hey friend, welcome to Think Like a Great. I'm Jinbee and I'm truly glad you're here. Today's episode is special. It's not just content, it's a calling. If you've ever felt that inner pull, that quiet but relentless voice inside that says, you were made for more, then this is for you. We're diving into 5 essential steps that every high achiever, every extraordinary leader must take. Doesn't matter your background. Doesn't matter where you're starting. These are not fluffy ideas or motivational hype. They're real, practical, battle-tested steps you can apply starting today. Because the difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one? It's not luck, it's not talent, it's intention, it's action, it's ownership. So grab a pen, open your mind, and most importantly, commit to showing up for yourself today. Let's get into it. And take that first bold step toward the future you know you were meant for. From ordinary to extraordinary. 5 simple steps that will change your life. Step 1. Stop being afraid to dream big. Let's begin with the foundation of every great transformation. Your dream. Not just any dream, a dream that scares you a little, maybe even a lot. Why? Because most people don't dream big, not because they can't, but because they're scared. They're afraid of disappointment, afraid of failure, afraid of judgment, afraid of reaching for something so bold and extraordinary they might actually fall short. But here's what no one tells you. The size of your dream determines the size of your life. When you set small goals, you live a small story, you play it safe. You stay inside the lines that society, fear, or self-doubt has drawn for you. But when you dare to dream big, really big, something magical starts to happen. You begin to step into a life that pulls the best out of you. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. This quote has echoed in the minds of entrepreneurs, artists, and visionaries for a reason. Big dreams require big courage. They demand more of you. And that's where growth lives. That's where you find your extraordinary. Think about it. Every great invention, every groundbreaking movement, every world-changing idea started with a dream that most people thought was crazy. And yet, someone believed in it enough to try. That someone could be you. But dreaming big is not just about ambition. It's about alignment. It's about reconnecting with the part of you that wants more. More purpose, more passion, more impact. Maybe you've been told to be realistic, to not get your hopes up. Maybe you've internalized those voices, and now you whisper them to yourself. Let this be the moment you stop. Let this be the day you choose possibility over limitation. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine the life you would create if you knew you couldn't fail. What would you do? Who would you become? What would you build, share, contribute? Now open your eyes. And remember, just because you don't know how to get there yet doesn't mean it's not possible. Every master was once a beginner. Every dreamer had to start somewhere. Here's something powerful to keep in mind. Dreams are invitations. They're not meant to torment you. They're meant to pull you forward. If something inside you keeps whispering, "There's more for you," it's because there is. But to access that more, you have to move through fear. And fear, my friend, is loudest right before the breakthrough. So let's do something brave today. Let's acknowledge the fear, but not let it decide the size of our vision. Let's say yes to the dream that feels almost too big, the one that makes your heart race. And if you don't have a big dream right now, that's okay. Start by giving yourself permission to want more, to want joy, fulfillment, growth, contribution. That spark alone is the beginning of everything. Transformation doesn't begin with a strategy. It begins with belief. And belief starts with a dream. Dare to dream beyond your comfort zone, because that's where transformation begins. Step 2. Take 100% responsibility for your life. There's a moment in every journey when things start to shift, not because circumstances magically improve, or because someone finally gives you the permission you were waiting for, but because you decide to stop waiting. You stop blaming, you stop making excuses, and you take full responsibility for your life. That moment, that's when everything changes. We live in a world that makes it easy to point fingers. It's always someone else's fault. The boss who didn't promote you, the parent who didn't understand you, the partner who let you down, the economy, the weather, your upbringing, your ex. But here's the truth that separates the average life from the extraordinary one. Extraordinary people don't blame. They take ownership, even of the messy parts, especially of the messy parts. It doesn't mean everything is your fault. Life can be unfair. People can be cruel. Unexpected things happen. But there's a difference between fault and responsibility. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you caused everything. It means you choose how to respond to it, and that's where your power lives. You can't change what you don't own, but once you own it, you have the power to transform it. Think about that. If you spend your energy blaming others or waiting for someone to fix things for you, you're giving your power away. You're handing your future to someone else's choices. But the moment you say, "This is mine to figure out," you step into leadership, the leadership of your own life. Taking 100% responsibility is not easy. It requires humility. It requires courage. It forces you to face parts of yourself that are uncomfortable. But it also gives you something far more valuable: control. Control over your growth. Control over your direction. Control over your future. When you take ownership of your decisions, the good and the bad, you stop being a victim of your life and start being the author of it. You learn from your mistakes. You grow through your challenges. You rise after your falls. And yes, you'll still fall. You'll still make poor choices. You'll still have setbacks. But here's the shift. You'll stop seeing setbacks as the end of the road and start seeing them as setups for comebacks. Because responsibility breeds resilience. It's what turns pain into purpose, struggle into strength, and chaos into clarity. So ask yourself, honestly, where have you been blaming others for where you are? Where have you been making excuses for not starting? Where have you been waiting for someone to give you permission? And what would happen if you took your power back, starting today? This isn't about shame. It's about power. It's about realizing that your life is your responsibility. And that's the best news ever, because it means you don't have to wait for anyone else to change. You don't need to be rescued. You don't need external validation. You get to decide. You get to grow. You get to lead. Here's the truth. Responsibility is not a burden. It's freedom. It frees you from waiting. It frees you from helplessness. It frees you from the lie that you are stuck. And when you fully embrace that, everything shifts. You stop settling for what's familiar and start reaching for what's possible. You stop repeating old stories and start writing new ones. You stop blaming the past and start building the future. Taking full responsibility also means owning your growth. No one is going to do it for you. If you want to become stronger, wiser, braver, you have to put in the work. You have to choose it daily. You have to show up even when no one is watching. This is the quiet, internal work of transformation. Not flashy, not always visible, but absolutely life-changing. Because here's what's real. Comfort doesn't build extraordinary lives. Responsibility does. And responsibility requires courage. The courage to look in the mirror. The courage to face your own patterns. The courage to start again, even after failure. But when you do, when you stop outsourcing your power, you become unstoppable. You become the person who says, "I own my choices, I own my growth. I own my future. And the best part? You're no longer at the mercy of other people's behavior or external circumstances. You're free to create, free to evolve, free to live fully. Your life is yours, not your parents', not your past's, not society's, yours. So stop waiting, stop blaming, stop making excuses. Take 100% responsibility. Reclaim your power. Write the next chapter of your life with intention, with ownership, and with fire. Step 3. Build relentless discipline. Let's be honest, motivation is fleeting. It comes in waves. One day you feel unstoppable. The next you can barely get out of bed. Feelings change. Energy fluctuates. Life throws curveballs. And that's why if you want real, lasting success, the kind that transforms your life, you can't rely on motivation alone. You need discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's not loud. It doesn't post selfies or hashtag grind mode, but it shows up, day in and day out, whether you feel like it or not. Because the truth is, success isn't about doing what you feel like. It's about doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like doing it. That's the difference maker. That's where the transformation happens. And here's the good news. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You don't need to go all in for 90 days and burn out by day 10. Instead, start small. Start with one habit, one commitment, one non-negotiable. Discipline isn't built in giant leaps. It's built in quiet repetitions. It's doing 5 push-ups a day before you ever run a marathon. It's writing 1 paragraph before you finish the book. It's waking up 15 minutes earlier, even when the bed is warm and your willpower is cold. And most importantly, it's showing up when it's hard, when you're tired, when you're discouraged, when no one is clapping for you. Those are the days that matter most. That's where your future self is shaped, because anyone can be consistent when things are easy. But it's what you do on the hard days that defines your character and your outcomes. Here's the shift. Stop chasing perfection. Start chasing commitment. You don't need to do everything right. You just need to keep your promises to yourself. Keep showing up, even if it's messy, even if it's not your best, because showing up builds trust with yourself. And that self-trust is the foundation of confidence, momentum, and real growth. Think of discipline as a daily investment. Every action you take compounds. Just like money in a savings account, those small, consistent efforts multiply over time. One missed workout won't hurt, but missing one turns into 2, then into a pattern unless you stay committed. And here's the real magic. The more you practice discipline, the less you need to push. It becomes who you are. The behavior becomes automatic. Discipline evolves into identity. You no longer try to be consistent. You simply are consistent. So don't wait to feel inspired. Don't wait for the mood to strike. Instead, build systems, build routines, build momentum. That's how the pros do it. That's how athletes train, how entrepreneurs grow, how leaders lead. They don't rely on emotion. They rely on structure. They create a rhythm for their life that supports their goals even on low-energy days. And you can too. Here's how to start. Choose one key habit that supports your goal. Anchor it to a time or existing routine. Habit stacking. Commit to a minimum version of that habit, no matter what. Track your streaks. Not for ego, but for accountability. When you miss, get back on track the very next day. No guilt. No spiral. Extraordinary isn't a mood. It's a method. It's not something you wait to feel. It's something you practice daily, quietly, consistently. So, take this step seriously. Build relentless discipline. It won't always be glamorous, but over time it will be unstoppable. Step 4. Surround yourself with growth-oriented people. You can't grow in a toxic garden. If you want to fly, you need to stop hanging around people who are afraid of heights. Your circle should inspire you, not drain you. Protect your energy. Choose community over comfort. Surround yourself with people who challenge and uplift you. Environment matters. The people around you are either stretching you or shrinking you, and sometimes the bravest thing you can do is outgrow the people who refuse to grow. So ask yourself, who are you becoming around the people you spend the most time with? If the answer isn't aligned with your highest self, it's time to make a change. You deserve to be around people who believe in you, who call you forward, and who see your potential even when you forget it. Doi jai la fien ban bien. Tap morong 1002. Xiua joan. Step 5. Take bold action and keep moving. Juoch viet lai je pu. Hop voi van phong. Vaki vong quan guoi mai. Jack biet la tronkach noi dung truyen cam hung. Fat trien ban than va jin huang han jong. Step 5. Take bold action and keep moving. Clarity doesn't come from overthinking. It comes from doing. That's the truth most people miss. We're often told to wait until we're ready, until we've planned every step, read every book, talk to every mentor. But here's the catch. Clarity comes through movement, not meditation alone. You don't need to have all the answers before you begin. You don't need to know every turn in the road before you take the first step. What you need, more than a perfect plan, is courage. Courage to move forward, even when things are messy, even when the future is unclear. There's a saying, in the world of startups and entrepreneurship, done is better than perfect. It's a simple sentence, but it holds a powerful truth. Perfectionism is just fear in disguise, fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. But action is the antidote. It silences fear. It breaks inertia. It creates real momentum. Every bold move you make, every imperfect step forward, plants the seeds of progress. And when you string enough of those steps together, something incredible happens. You start to build momentum. Momentum is what turns ideas into reality. It's what separates people who dream from people who do. The difference isn't talent or luck. It's often just movement, persistent, imperfect, courageous movement. Think about it. How many times have you sat on an idea for months, maybe even years, telling yourself that you'll start when the time is right? The truth is, waiting rarely makes it easier. In fact, the longer we wait, the heavier it feels to begin. Procrastination feeds on stillness. Fear thrives in our heads. And the only way to break free is through movement. You won't always feel ready, and that's okay. Most people who do great things didn't feel completely ready either. They just decided to take the next step anyway. That's the kind of bold action we're talking about. Not reckless, not thoughtless, but brave. Bravery is doing the thing, even while your hands are shaking. It's showing up even when your mind is filled with doubts. It's taking imperfect steps towards something meaningful, instead of staying stuck in endless preparation. You'll stumble, you'll make mistakes, you'll doubt yourself, again and again. But here's the secret. Progress isn't about being flawless. It's about staying in motion. Every stumble teaches you something. Every misstep sharpens your instincts, and every act of showing up rewires your brain for resilience. It's tempting to think that growth only comes from success, but more often, it comes from recovery, from picking yourself up after a fall, from learning what doesn't work and using that lesson to pivot. The people we admire, the innovators, the artists, the leaders, they didn't get where they are by doing things perfectly. They got there by moving forward when others froze, by taking action when others hesitated, by choosing to grow through trial, error, and persistence. So what does this look like in real life? It means sending that email, even if it's not worded perfectly. It means launching that project, even if it's only 80% ready. It means having the hard conversation, even if you're nervous. It means applying for the opportunity, even if you're unsure you'll get it. Done is always better than perfect, because done can be improved, perfected, built upon. But an idea that lives only in your head, that stays stuck in planning mode forever, that's potential wasted. Here's what happens when you keep moving. Your confidence grows, not from thinking, but from doing. You get feedback. Real-world insights beat hypothetical ones every time. You build resilience. You prove to yourself that you can bounce back. You get closer. Even if it's just a little, you move in the right direction. And here's the best part. You don't have to move fast. You just have to keep moving. Slow progress is still progress. Forward is forward. One action leads to another, and suddenly, the thing that once felt impossible is part of your story. Let go of the need for mastery before momentum. Mastery is the result of movement, not a prerequisite for it. The extraordinary isn't born in perfect planning. It's born in the messy, brave, committed act of showing up and doing the work again and again. So today, make the call. Send the email. Ask the question. Start the thing. Whatever it is you've been putting off, do one small part of it today. Take bold action, and then keep moving. And there you have it. 5 powerful steps that can truly transform your life. At the end of the day, it all comes down to how committed you are to your future. Your dreams aren't just possible. They're waiting on you. But they won't chase you back. You've got to move first. You've got to believe it's worth it. And more importantly, believe you're worth it. Thank you so much for choosing to spend this time with me. I know your attention is valuable, and it means the world that you're here growing, reflecting, and taking steps toward your next level. If this episode brought you value, inspired a shift, or even gave you just one aha moment, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. Give it a like if you're watching on YouTube. And most importantly, share this with someone you care about. Because growth is even better when we do it together. Your support truly fuels this mission, and I'm so grateful to be part of your journey. Until next time, stay motivated, stay focused, and always remember, you are capable of more than you think. Keep going. You've got this.